Welcome to What the Week, the totally fake news channel with a twist. I'm your host, Jester James. We've got the most amusing, eyebrow-raising fake news stories you can think of. But here's the fun part. Among these made-up tales, there's one true story hiding. Can you spot it? If you love a good laugh and a fun challenge, you're in the right place. Let's jump into this week's mix of funny fibs and a dash of truth. All right, folks, let's kick off this week with our first story. It's one for the books, so let's dive right in. In a tail-waggingly incredible turn of events, a guide dog, Bark Twain, saved the day by successfully landing a passenger plane after the pilot unexpectedly fainted. At 30,000 feet, the plane was cruising when the pilot became unconscious. With the co-pilot momentarily distracted by a particularly cute cat video on his phone, the situation seemed dire. That's when Bark Twain, a passenger's guide dog, sprang into action. With his extraordinary senses and a little help from air traffic control, Bark Twain took control of the cockpit. Observers on the ground reported that the landing was smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy, with passengers applauding wildly upon touchdown. His navigation was on point, and he didn't even need a GPS. It was a rough situation, but he handled it beautifully, said an air traffic controller, clearly delighted. The airline has now announced they are considering a Pause for Pilots program, recruiting guide dogs to co-pilot planes in the future. After all, who needs autopilot when you've got Pautopilot? Moving right along to our second piece of the puzzle. Fasten your seatbelts, you're in for a surprise. In an event that's shaking the tree of normalcy, a squirrel allegedly from the future has captivated local parkgoers. The creature, now christened Doc Nutty, has become a sensation with its odd mannerisms and seemingly uncanny acorn gathering. Park regular Mr. Sanders was the first to notice Doc Nutty and his quirky antics. With a tiny, flashy wristwatch and a paw always ready for the next falling acorn, Doc Nutty had Sanders exclaiming, "It's like he knows where the acorns will fall. It's nutty, but remarkable." Local park ranger and amateur squirrel whisperer, Ranger Rick, has taken a particular interest in Doc Nutty's peculiar gadget, a wristwatch-like contraption that seems to have more flashing lights than a 90s disco. Rick has been seen trying to communicate with Doc using a complex system of nut offerings and interpretive dance. "It's all in the rhythm of the nut shake," Rick insisted, while demonstrating a peculiar shimmy. Meanwhile, Doc Nutty seemed to be amused, if not slightly puzzled, by these human antics, pausing occasionally in his acorn collection to give Rick a quizzical look. As curiosity around Doc Nutty, the time-traveling squirrel, continues to grow, one thing's for sure. This little critter has added a sprinkle of nutty wonder to everyday park life. Onwards and upwards, here comes our third tale. This one's got a twist, so stay tuned. In an astonishingly cheesy twist, aliens have officially endorsed pineapple as a pizza topping, triggering an intergalactic culinary dispute. The revelation came during a surprise visit to a popular Italian pizzeria by an extraterrestrial envoy from the Zorgon Nebula. "Pineapple brings a tangy juxtaposition to the rich, creamy cheese," said Zorg the envoy, while enjoying a slice of Hawaiian pizza. This divisive statement, promptly dubbed the Pineapple Proclamation, has set the Milky Way into a spin. Pizza purists across the universe are up in arms. Italian chefs are planning a protest at the Leaning Tower of Pisa, while New Yorkers are scheduling a Say No to Pineapple rally in Times Square. In contrast, pineapple pizza advocates are over the moon, seeing the alien endorsement as a long-overdue validation, said the president of the Pineapple Pizza Appreciation Society, grinning from ear to ear. In related news, the Zorgon envoy further stoked the fire by suggesting dipping pizza in milk, a move that has left humanity truly questioning the universe. Next up, our fourth story is ready to roll. Keep those eyes peeled, you won't want to miss a moment. We're not slowing down yet. In a scientific breakthrough that has sent shockwaves through the renewable energy industry, 14-year-old prodigy Timmy Tootsies has introduced the world to an energy generator powered by, you guessed it, toe jam. Long considered a gross nuisance, especially in the world of teenagers dealing with sports shoes and puberty, Tootsies saw potential in the overlooked and underappreciated toe jam. The young inventor discovered that certain enzymes produced in toe jam, when isolated and combined with his patented Teen Gen power cell, can generate electricity. The device, currently in its prototype phase, has already powered a light bulb for a full 24 hours. As the world stands in awe of this teenage genius, Tootsies is busy planning his next steps, which include scaling up the invention and exploring other unorthodox energy sources. Our next project involves gym socks, the prodigy hinted, leaving us all in anticipation of what's to come. The future is here, says Tootsies, and it's between our toes. Here comes story number 5. Buckle up for this roller coaster of a tale. In a development that's shaking the very core of the beverage industry, scientists have pulled off the impossible. They've created diet water. Yes, you heard it right. Diet water. Because apparently regular water, which last I checked had 0 calories, just wasn't cutting it for weight loss anymore. Our sources tell us that this revolutionary diet water promises to contain even fewer calories than regular water. How many, you ask? Well, it seems the number's so small, it's slipped right into the realm of negative integers. Health enthusiasts around the globe are already hailing this new invention as the ultimate weight loss solution. One user shared her experience, stating she felt lighter than air after a single sip. In fact, she's so light now she's worried about floating away if she drinks another bottle. Critics, on the other hand, are not as convinced. They argue the taste of the new diet water is suspiciously familiar. One skeptic was quoted saying, "It's just like, what's that stuff called again? Oh, right, water." While we're waiting for more reviews to pour in, pun absolutely intended, let's raise a glass of regular water, thank you very much, to these scientists who are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to make weight loss easier. Or at least more hilarious. Rolling into day 6, we've got another gem for you. Prepare for the unexpected. In a strange turn of events, beachgoers in Oregon are reporting a new kind of beach body washing up on the shores. No, it's not the latest fashion trend, but a surprising number of fanged fish typically found over a mile deep in the ocean. The fish, sporting a scaleless but fabulous look, come equipped with their own set of fangs and oversized peepers. Perfect for those dark, deep sea selfies. They've been appearing along a 200-mile stretch of coastline, causing quite the stir among local residents and marine biologists alike. Scientists are scratching their heads and adjusting their spectacles as they investigate why these oceanic party crashers have decided to hit the Oregon beaches. Some theories suggest that they are trying to escape a dull, deep-sea party, while others suggest that they just wanted to see what all the fuss about sunbathing was. In any case, Oregon beachgoers are advised to be on the lookout for these toothy tourists. Remember, while they may not have scales, they certainly have style. And finally, here's our last story to wrap up the week. This one's the cherry on top of our crazy news Sunday, so let's dig in. Have you ever looked up at the sky and thought those airplane contrails look somewhat delicious? Well, it turns out they might just be. In a stunning twist of scientific discovery, recent studies have confirmed that contrails left by airliners are, in fact, comprised of marshmallow fluff. Yes, that's right, marshmallow fluff. Suddenly, those childhood dreams of candy-filled skies don't seem so far-fetched, do they? Children around the globe are absolutely thrilled with this news and are now looking at air travel in a whole new light. Or should we say, a whole new delight. Schoolyards are buzzing with the chatter of marshmallow harvest plans and a renewed interest in aeronautics. Meanwhile, nations worldwide are gearing up for what's being dubbed as the Great Fluff Race. Governments, environmental agencies, and culinary bodies are scrambling to see who will be the first nation to collect and utilize this extraordinary phenomenon. So, next time you see a plane carving its way across the sky, remember, it's not just transporting passengers, it's also making dessert. Stay tuned as we continue to track this fluffy development in the most delicious scientific discovery of the decade. And that's it for this week's What the Week. We hope you had a good laugh and enjoyed the surprises. But remember, one of these stories wasn't a joke. It was true. Did you figure out which one? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop. We're cooking up new, funny, mostly fake news almost every day. Until next time, I'm Jester James, wishing you a good night, lots of laughs, and many more What the Week moments.